published, 1558 EDT, the 12th of May 2018, updated, 2144 EDT, the 12th of May 2018. A terrorist shouted Allah Akbar as he slashed at the throats of innocent bystanders in Paris last night, killing one and injuring four others. Armed police swooped on the French capital's historic Opera Garnier Opera House shortly after 9 p.m. and used a taser on the attacker before shooting him dead when he refused to surrender. ISIS later claimed the unnamed killer, in his 20s, was one of their soldiers, as President Emmanuel Macron said France has once again paid the price of blood. Dramatic footage shows scenes of panic as people sprinted away from the scene of the rampage, where someone could be seen covered in blood and lying on their back in the street. The bloodbath, which left a 29-year-old man dead, took place in Rue Monsigny in the 2nd arrondissement, an area between the main opera house and the Louvre Museum, two major tourist attractions full of bars, restaurants and theaters which were brimming on a weekend night. One horrified witness said people hid in a bar after seeing the assailant slaughter someone in the street. Another said they heard 4 shots in quick succession. The terror attack follows a series of jihadist atrocities in France which have seen almost 250 killed by terrorists since early 2015. Scroll down for video. Pictures from Twitter appear to show a man lying in the middle of a street after a knifeman went on a rampage in Paris, slashing at the throats of his targets. A heavy police presence remains at the scene of the attack, which unfolded in central Paris yesterday as the man, described by police as in his 20s, targeted passers-by with a knife. Armed police swooped on the area close to the historic Opera Garnier Opera House yesterday, where they were able to bring a halt to the bloodshed by shooting the assailant dead. The man attacked 5 people with a knife, one of whom died, police said. 2 were in serious condition and all the victims are in hospital. Interior Minister Gérard Collomb hailed in a tweet the sang-froid and reaction of the police, who neutralized the attacker. A large area was cordoned off where police, fire and rescue vehicles converged. The initial attack took place on Rue Monsigny, in the 2nd arrondissement, where crowds were seen running away in panic following tonight's attack, an investigating source said. A 29-year-old man died after being stabbed by an assailant close to the Opera House. The attacker targeted an area full of restaurants and bars close. He shouted, "Kill me before I kill you," and also used the words Allah Akbar. He was slashing throats indiscriminately using a knife before police arrived on the scene. They were able to shoot him dead. The Islamic State group claimed responsibility, according to the site Monitoring Group. The executor of the stabbing operation in the city of Paris is a soldier of the Islamic State, and the operation was carried out in response to the calls to target the coalition states, a security source told ISIS official Amaq news agency. According to site, the initial attack took place on Rue Monsigny, in the 2nd arrondissement, where crowds were seen running away in panic. At one stage, many were trapped inside a Japanese restaurant, with many fearing the knifeman was inside with them. Just before 9 p.m., we saw people rushing inside the restaurant screaming that a man was inside with a bloody knife, a witness called Laurent told Le Parisien newspaper. Jihadist attacks have killed more than 245 people across France since the 2015 Charlie Hebdo shootings. Here is a recap of incidents that have taken place in the past 3 years. 2018 March 23, gunman Radu and Lake Deem killed 4 people in their southern towns of Terrebs and Carcassonne, including policeman Lieutenant Colonel Arnaud Beltrame, who was hailed as a hero for taking the place of a hostage. Lake Deem was shot dead by police after a standoff. 2017 October 1, a 29-year-old Tunisian cries Allah Akbar and kills 2 young women with a knife at the main train station in the southern city of Marseille. Ahmed Hanachi is shot dead by soldiers on patrol. His attack is claimed by the Islamic State, IS, Group. 2017 April 20, a 39-year-old ex-convict shoots dead an on-duty policeman and wounds 2 others on Paris. Champs-Élysées Avenue gunman Karim Cherfi is killed by police and a note praising IS is found next to his body, with the group claiming responsibility. A sea of floral tributes to the victims of the deadly attack on the Promenade des Anglais seafront which killed 84 people in Nice in July 2016 from left, Larosia Balla, 25, who knifed a police officer to death in Paris in June 2016, Mohamed Lahou Aboulal, who killed 86 people and injured more than 400 when he plowed a truck through a large crowd in Nice in July 2016, and Radu and Lake Deem, who killed 4 people in the southern towns of Terrebs and Carcassonne, including policeman Lieutenant Colonel Arnaud Beltrame, who was hailed as a hero for taking the place of a hostage. 2016 July 26, 2 teenagers slit the throat of an 85-year-old priest in front of 5 worshippers at his church in the western town of Saint-Étienne du Rouvray. Abdul Malik Patidjan and Adel Kermish, both aged 19, are killed by police. The murderers claimed by the IS. The teenagers had sworn allegiance to the group in a video. 2016 July 14, a Tunisian plows a truck through a large crowd gathered for Bastille Day fireworks on the Promenade des Anglais in the Mediterranean city of Nice. The attack kills 86 people and injures more than 400. The driver, Mohamed Lahou Aboulal, 31, is shot dead by security forces. IS claims responsibility. 2016 June 13, Larosia Balla, 25, uses a knife to kill a police officer and his partner at their home in Magnanville, west of Paris, in front of their young son. Balla is killed by a police SWAT team, but has already claimed the murders on social media in the name of IS. 2015 November 13, France is hit by the worst terror attacks in its history. IS jihadists armed with assault rifles and explosives strike outside a France-Germany football match at the National Stadium, Paris cafes, and the Bataclan concert hall in a coordinated assault that leaves 130 people dead and more than 350 wounded. 2015 August 21, passengers prevent a bloodbath on a high-speed Thalys train from Amsterdam to Paris, tackling a man who opened fire on travelers. He was armed with a Kalashnikov assault rifle, an automatic pistol and a box cutter. The gunman is identified as 25-year-old Moroccan national Ayoub El Kazani, known to intelligence services for links to radical Islam. 2015 June 26, Frenchman Yassine Sally, 35, kills and beheads his boss and displays the severed head, surrounded by 2 Islamic flags, on the fence of a gas plant in Saint-Quentin-Falavia in southeastern France. He tries to blow up the factory, but is arrested. he commits suicide in his jail cell. 2015 April 19, Sid Ahmed Glam, an Algerian IT student, is arrested on suspicion of killing a woman who was found shot dead in her car, and of planning an attack on a church in the Paris suburb of Villejuif. Prosecutors say they found documents about Al-Qaeda and is at his home, and that he had been in touch with a suspected jihadist in Syria about an attack on a church. 2015 February 3, a knife-wielding man attacks 3 soldiers guarding a Jewish community center in Nice. The 30-year-old assailant, Moussa Koulibaly, is arrested. In custody, he expresses his hatred for France, the police, the military and Jews. 2015 January 7 to 9, 2 men armed with Kalashnikov rifles storm the Paris offices of satirical weekly Charlie Hebdo, killing 12 people. A policewoman is killed just outside Paris the following day, while a gunman takes hostages at a Jewish supermarket, 4 of whom are killed. The attackers are killed in separate shootouts with police, but not before claiming allegiance to Al-Qaeda and the IS. Police and forensic officers are on scene after the attack unfolded earlier today. ISIS have since claimed responsibility for the outrage, saying the attack was carried out by one of their soldiers. A large area was cordoned off where police, fire and rescue vehicles converged. Shocked tourists and residents looked on from behind the security perimeter. The attack took place near the city's main opera house in an area full of bars, restaurants and theaters which were brimming on a weekend night. The executor of the stabbing operation in the city of Paris is a soldier of the Islamic State, and the operation was carried out in response to the calls to target the coalition states, a security source told ISIS official Amaq news agency, according to monitoring group site. Pictured, 2 police officers at the scene of the attack last night. Forensics teams survey the area after the attack today. Shocked tourists and residents looked on from behind the security perimeter during the bloodshed. Anti-terrorist judges from Paris have launched an investigation, with the city prosecutor François Molins confirming that the suspected Allah Akbar, words commonly used by ISIS fanatics. The injured have been taken to the Georges Pompidou Hospital, where 2 are said to be in a very serious condition. People were throwing themselves on the floor in panic. 5 minutes later, there was a second crowd movement. Customers blocked the door of the restaurant, as they were afraid that attacker had slipped inside. Then, it calmed down. Outside, even the police seemed a bit lost at first. Shocked tourists and residents looked on from behind the security perimeter. I was on the cafe terrace, I heard 3, 4 shots, it happened very fast, said 47-year-old Gloria. Then the bartenders told us to come inside very quickly. Then I went out to see what was going on, and then I saw a man on the ground, she added. Anti-terrorist judges from Paris have launched an investigation, with the city prosecutor François Molins confirming that the suspected Allah Akbar, words commonly used by ISIS fanatics. President Emmanuel Macron praised the courage of the police who neutralized the terrorist. In a tweet, Mr. Macron said, France pays once again the price of blood but does not yield an inch to the enemies of freedom. Interior Minister Gerard Collomb hailed in a tweet the sang-froid and reaction of the police who neutralized the attacker. The injured have been taken to the Georges Pompidou Hospital, where 2 are said to be in a very serious condition. Another witness called Gloria, 47, told the AFP news agency, "I was on a cafe terrace and heard 4 shots. I then came out to see what was happening, then I saw a man on the ground. It follows an ISIS attack in South West France on March 23, which saw the number of terrorist victims killed on French soil since January 2015 rise to 245.